if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be.
There is nothing better than winning, consistently winning. Winning solves all the problems, and success does as well. And that's what it's like being a Detroit Lions fan right now. It's absolutely amazing, and we are here for the one day that we talk Detroit Lions before the postgame show on Lions Nation Night. And I'm here with my buddy, my pal, one of the best content creators in all of YouTube, Mark Oram from Oram's Forum. What's going on, Marky Mark?
What's going on, Mikey? What's going on, everybody out there, man? The chat, man, winners of 4 out of 5 games, these Detroit Lions. Pinch me. Is it real? Let's go.
It's 100% real, folks. 4 out of 5 Detroit Lions winning and getting love all over, and that's what One Pride's all about. I mean, we have stuck through this team through thick and thin. Every single one of you guys in the building has as well. Weston Lion, AG, 9 Drinks. What's up, brother? We got Alan Dana. We got Giovanni Lyons, John Ball, Paul Ginder, Chrome in the building, my good old friend Patty Grimes, Riley Elder. Thank you all for joining today. Mark, it is good to have you back. 2 weeks without Mark. I'm telling you what, I was fiending for Mark. I'm not going to lie. I was going through withdrawals.
Aww.
Withdrawals.
All right.
Mark. So what's up,
here,
man?
buddy.
How you been the last 2 weeks?
I've been good, man. I do shift work, so I was at work for the afternoon shift. Not doing podcasts, trying to get some videos out though. Got some videos out. I love being on LNU with you, though, Mikey. We have a good time, man, and it's good to be a Lions fan right now, and let's have some fun, man, today.
And we're going to absolutely have some fun. Smash that like button if you haven't done so. And we're going to get this thing going. First off, obviously, we're going to be talking about Detroit Lions versus a huge game, Minnesota Vikings here. This is massive, man. Big game here, maybe the biggest game that I can remember as a Detroit Lions fan. If they win, Mark, we are in the playoff hunt legitimately. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, they would have a shot to win out. But you got to win at home in Vegas right now, Mark agrees. The 10-2 Minnesota Vikings are underdogs to the Detroit Lions. What do you think about that?
Hey, man, people are starting to believe, man. People are starting to bet heavy on these Detroit Lions. Like you said, Mike, we're getting a lot of national attention, the media, fan base, other fans in general. I mean, I got people at work talking to me about Detroit Lions for the first time in a long time, asking, these guys for real? I'm like, man, they seem to be for real. They're getting a lot of talk, man. In Vegas, Vegas sees it. People are betting heavy on them. This is a huge game for the Detroit Lions. The 10-2 Minnesota Vikings, I think they're a good team too as well. Are they really a 10-2 football team though? That can that's for another discussion. We can talk about that. But good teams find a way to win, man. The 10-2, they have a good offense. This is a huge game for the Detroit Lions though. If they can wrap this game up, Mike, people are going to start talking for real about the playoffs in Detroit.
I love how you said they are a legitimate 10-2 football team because if you look at the stats, you would be cross-eyed to say, what the hell? Because the stats are not showing that. Right now, points per game for the Minnesota Vikings offensively, they're 24.1, 11th in the NFL. The Lions are 26.3, the 6th in the NFL. Total yards per game offensively, they're 19th at 335. Lions are 7th with 369. Passing yards, they're 10th in the NFL with 242. Detroit Lions, 8th in the NFL, 242.1. The Minnesota Vikings rushing game, 25th in the NFL. And the Detroit Lions is 10th in the NFL with 127 yards. The difference between them is the fact that they get a little love and we have not. But on all stats, the Lions' offense is better.
Yeah, the Lions' offense is way better. You know, they got some good guys over there, though, in Delvin Cook, Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins, I think, is, he's a middle-of-the-road quarterback. He has his good moments, his bad moments. It's a team, they play a little bit of defense, though, sometimes. I know last week, though, I think the Jets dropped like 500 yards on them, 500-plus yards on them. So they're susceptible to having bad days on defense, too. But
a lot of bad
it's all
days.
about the beginning. It was all about the beginning of the year. We had that really bad month, that first month of football that really killed this team, and then the Minnesota Vikings, they were winning games. So, they play a little defense, play some offense. They are 10-2, so we can't take this team lightly. Obviously, they are the leaders of the North. But, teams don't really want to play us right now. And I'm not a guy that's going to come on here and drink a bunch of Kool-Aid. I'm not like that, Mike. You know that for a fact.
You're 100% off the Kool-Aid.
Nobody wants to play us. Yeah, nobody wants to play us, man. I'm telling you right now. Teams do not want to play us. No. Yeah,
this is what he drinks, hydroperoxide, okay?
By the gallon. By the gallon.
He is not a Kool-Aid drinker. Let me know in the comment section who has the better offense, Detroit Lions or Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go with the Lions here. They got the better offense. The stats show it, and we have been dominating. Let's go ahead and look at the defense, though. Obviously you think Minnesota Vikings, they got this sound defense. Points allowed per game, Mark, 23.3, 20th in the NFL. Yards allowed per game, 398.7, 31st in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 283.6, 32nd in the NFL. Rushing yards per game, they allow 115.1, 16th in the NFL.
How are they doing it then?
This is how they're doing it. This is how they are winning and why they are 10-2. They are +8 in the turnover differential. That is third in the NFL, and the Detroit Lions are +1. They are winning these last-minute games and getting these turnovers in crucial times.
And okay, there you go right there. The turnover, the +8 turnover is what you said. That is
Correct.
Huge, man. This is, if you go look at what the Detroit Lions have been doing in the past 5 games, what are we doing that's really, really big time for our wins? We are actually causing a bunch of turnovers. So that, it took us a couple months to start doing that, but that's why we're winning ball games. And the Minnesota Vikings, that's what they do well too. They force turnovers, getting interceptions, forcing fumbles, fumble recoveries. That's what they're doing, and that's why they're winning ball games. And it's no coincidence that when you do that as a team, you're going to start winning ball games, because that's exactly what we've been doing for over a month, and that's why we're 4 out of 5 winners.
Turnovers wins games. Pressure gets those turnovers. There's a lot of things that's taking place right now for the Detroit Lions. The same thing with the Minnesota Vikings. I just talked about pressures. They're very good at pressures, okay? Zadarius Smith, their edge rusher, 9.5 sacks, okay? Stud. This guy is probably the best pass rusher that we've seen so far that we're playing against. Regarding the stats, it's showing it. Danielle Hunter, 7 sacks. Stud. Then you got Wanman, Jones, and Hicks, 3.5, 3 and 3. So they're getting pressure. So to me, when I look at this, the offensive line, baby, it's another. If the offensive line can produce what they did last week, it will reduce turnovers. Lions have a shot to win the game.
Yeah, 100%. Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker are going to have their hands full with Smith and Hunter. Those two guys get after the quarterback. We can't seem to escape Zadarius Smith, former Packer. Now he's a Viking. We can't get rid of him. Hopefully he comes to Detroit maybe next year or 2 years from now. But just kind of kidding there. It would be nice, but they're going to have their hands full, man. And they got 2 good linebackers. They got a decent secondary still. So they do have some bad stats, but like we said, Mike, turnovers are huge. And I think it's going to be really big for Penei Sewell and Taylor Decker. They're going to really have to lock down the fort, man, for those two guys coming, because they're coming for Goff 100%.
We do have some breaking news. The Los Angeles Rams have claimed Baker Mayfield, quarterback. And why does that affect us? We have their draft pick. So they have claimed Baker Mayfield. Obviously, Stafford, he's done for the year. Do I really think that's a big deal? Honestly, no. I don't even think he's that. I think he's washed. I'm just gonna be 100%.
Yeah, that's we were going through this at the beginning of the season. Should we go get Baker? Should we go get Baker? And then he gets released, and then you start hearing it again. Should we go claim him? Should we go claim him? No, we don't need to, man. That's a good thing, I think, for the LA Rams. I don't know. Is McVay? I think McVay's going to get real tired of a guy like Baker Mayfield real fast, man. He doesn't seem to fit that system whatsoever. I guess it's better than a John Wolford. I don't really know, but Wolford at least knows the system.
Wolford, I would
good
take
luck to
over Baker Mayfield right now. I'd take Wolford over Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's just it's kind of personally, I think it's a weird claim by the LA Rams, but you know what? Play him. Hopefully they can play him because he's not that good of a quarterback.
So again, that affects us because we got the draft pick. I honestly think it doesn't affect our draft pick. I don't think he's better than Wolford. I think Wolford will probably be starting the rest of the year, and he's just a backup. Because they may are looking at Matthew Stafford. He may retire. One of these deals where he's dealing with a spinal contusion, double concussion. He's broken his back twice, so that's something there. But that could be a long-term solution for or maybe they think that. But let's continue on for Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. Lions offense versus Vikings defense. What is one key aspect that we need to do in this game offensively to get the victory?
We just kind of hit on it, man. You're gonna have to control those two bookends, man. Smith and Hunter. You're gonna have to run the football right down their throats. You don't want guys like that. Those two guys are bloodhounds, man. They're gonna pin their ears back and they're gonna come for Jared Goff. So we're gonna have to run the hell out of the football. Do what Goff does best, hitting those short shots, dink and dunk all the way down the field. Occasionally, throw a ball 20-plus yards if you have to. But get the ball in Amon-Ra's hands, short, let him run with the yak. Get the ball in Swift's hands, get the ball in Jamal's hands. Just don't let those two bookends pin their ears back and come for you, because you don't want Goff going back in 7-step drops, 5-step drops too much. And Ben Johnson, he seems like a pretty smart OC. He seems like a pretty smart man. He's not going to put Jared Goff, I think, in that situation where those guys are going to be coming. So, go short, run the hell out of the ball, and that's how you're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings.
When you talk about Jared Goff and what you just said there, apparently you just chose death. Anything?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to say. I don't know what I said.
The word anymore, man. It's becoming it's becoming a political word at this point.
Yeah, hey, man. Goff is Goff, man. He's going to do what he does. He is what he is. He's a limited quarterback, and I'm throwing no shade at him right now. So, truthers, kind of calm down. I'm not throwing no shade at him.
You're going to have 5 videos made about you, man. Better slow.
He is what he is. He is what he is, man. Ben Johnson puts him in a good situation. He dinks and dunks down the field, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with dinking, dunking down the field as long as it's working, man. But that's what he is, and that's fine.
Offensively, I think for the Detroit Lions, they got to take a couple of deep shots in this game to open everything up. You got Jamison Williams in here, DJ Chark. I want to see some deep shots thrown. I think that's really important because it's going to help open up the run game, the intermediate, the smaller routes that the wide receivers are going to be taking. And for Jared Goff to get the ball out of his hands quickly, they are a disrupting team defensively. They sack the quarterback. The quicker he gets the ball out of his hands, the less chance that he gets hit, fumbles, or is some disaster of a play happens. So every once in a while, take a deep shot and just distribute the football. I want to see a lot of passing in this game because their defense is not good against the pass, and I do believe you're going to have to kind of keep up with the Minnesota Vikings. I think this game, They're going to put up some points. It's not going to be Jacksonville Jaguars here where they're only going to put up 14 points. It needs to be a close game. And it's going to go all the way to the end. And I think for the coaching staff is you need to go for touchdowns in this one. Be a little more aggressive because I don't want the same result of Thanksgiving happen here because if you look at Kirk Cousins in this offense, they can quick strike. And the last thing we want is to be ahead with 25 seconds on the clock, and they have an opportunity to get a field goal against our defense. And that's the result. I'm not saying go for it all the time, but, if we're at the 37 of theirs and it's 4th and 1, go for it. Go for the run. Try to get the first down. I'm not going to be upset about that if you decide to pass on a field goal going for a win because this is a 10-2 team, a team that can put up points and can win. You look at defensively. What should the Lions do defensively against this very potent offense? Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. I'm sure you heard of T.J. Hawkinson. He's over there. So what the Lions defense got to do?
Yeah, man. Well, like last time they played the Minnesota Vikings, from what I can recall, my brain, is a little bit foggy. I know Okudah had a very nice game against Justin Jefferson, so he needs to do that again. I can't remember if Dalvin Cook went off on us last time we played. He may have not. But those two guys are probably the two biggest X factors, Jefferson and Cook. Those guys can go off at any given moment. Jefferson's having a really, really nice year. Cook's been kind of up and down. But you can't forget guys like Adam Thielen. T.J. Hawkinson's over there. He's coming back home. He's going to be very emotional. It's going to be an emotional time for some, Detroit Lions. And I'm sure some of those defensive guys are going to want to lay a lick on T.J. Hawkinson. All good fun. They're probably all friends. You know what I mean? But hey, man, when you play football and and you're playing against your boys, you're going to want to lay your boy out, man, every now and then. Nice clean hit, but they're going to have to let T.J. Hawkinson know what's up. So, but be careful with guys like Justin Jefferson because he was locked down last time. So that means he's due, and those guys remember that kind of stuff. So Okudah's in for a tough one. The linebackers, I think, who have been playing really well lately, really need to be on Dalvin Cook. Alex Anzalone, man, has impressed me as of late. I don't. He's been playing like a man possessed. It's this whole defense, man. If you look at the last 5 games, man,
they're around mid defense in the last 5 games.
Yeah,
the rankings.
They're playing at a top 15 level. It's amazing the turnaround. Ever since Aubrey Pleasant pretty much got fired, it's like they switched the gear and then boom, they played great defense. It's out of control. Like I can't. We were with like the worst defense on the planet. Yeah, we're still giving up a lot of yards. We're still giving up through the air and the ground, giving up some scores here and there. But like we said, the turnovers. We just been doing that, and we just been playing really good football defensively for over a month.
It's been really nice to see. You talk about hitting hard, and that's what this defense is doing, hitting really hard, very physical. That's what I like seeing from this team, black and blue. And I talk about the physicality and what we need to bring to Detroit is occurring the last 5 weeks. Absolutely love it. You talk about Alex Anzalone playing out of his mind, for sure. And he's going to have to play out of his mind on this one. This is a big game for Alex. Hopefully he can come out there and be Thor that we need him to be. Jeff Okudah again on Justin Jefferson. Now, week 3 when they faced each other, Okudah shut him down. Yes, he had safety over the top, but it's Justin Jefferson, man. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. If Okudah can do this again, the Lions will definitely have a shot to win this game, Mark. If Okudah can shut down or at least slow down Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, we just kind of touched on it for sure. It's going to be a tough matchup for Okudah. Do what they did, just like they did the last time we played. Have Kirby Joseph over the top, Deshaun Elliott. Someone's got to be lingering around helping out Okudah because Justin Jefferson can go off at any given moment. And Okudah has had some really good moments this year. He's had some bad moments where he's gotten burned pretty badly. And he had a really, really great game against Justin Jefferson earlier in the year. So Justin Jefferson will remember that. And I'm sure there'll be some John back and forth, but he's going to need some help, Okudah. over the top 100%. Hopefully, Kirby Joseph won't be too far behind. You'll see Deshaun Elliott. And Deshaun Elliott, another guy, too, that brought over, man. He's playing excellent football right now, too. Deshaun Elliott with that big forced fumble last week. The guys are going for the ball. So there'll be some safety help. It's going to be another tough matchup for Jeffy, but, I'm sure he can handle it.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup, and I think they can handle it. This is why you bring these guys in here and to make the impact that we need to in games such as this. Also, special teams here. The Detroit Lions got Michael Badgley. I'm starting to really like this guy. He's only missed one field goal so far as a Detroit Lion. I'm feeling if we need to make a special teams play, I think it can happen. I'm starting to trust Money Badgley. That's what he's called now.
The Money Badger. Yeah.
So he's starting to become money there, Mark.
Yeah, man. That was a good find. For some reason, it takes the Detroit Lions a while to find kickers. And, it happened again. It took a while to get Badgley in, and he's been great. He missed, a huge field goal against Buffalo, but that's okay. It does happen to the best of them, but he's been nothing. He's been nothing but bonus. He's been a plus on this team. Hit four field goals last week. The Money Badger was on point. And I think too, he's kind of eased Dan Campbell's mind a little bit. Dan Campbell was going for it on fourth and 72, man, because he didn't have a kicker. You know what I mean? So it's like he didn't trust anybody in his special teams. He didn't trust his kickers, it seemed like, and he would go for it. Now with the Money Badger in town, I think it's a little bit of ease on the big fella's mind, and he's like, okay, I'm going to kick a field goal, and then that's what they've been doing lately, and it's helping out Dan Campbell tremendously.
Zayka with a $4.99 super chat. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. He says, did you see the Lions are a 2.5-point favorite right now at Minnesota? Are you kidding me? Because I just made my video for 1 point. They keep changing the money line. I swear, folks, they switch this thing left and right. But yeah, generally a home team gets 3-point advantage, but this is different because it's a 10-2 team. But the Detroit Lions are playing like ballers. Like they are playing really damn good football. Sound football. Something that we didn't even mention yet. And I think it needs to be mentioned. Good football teams generally don't shoot themselves in the foot, Mark. And one flag last couple weeks, they're not getting flags. They're not doing stupid stuff. They're playing sound, fundamental football. And that's going to help you win games such as this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They have played some of the best football that I have seen this team play in years. Like 2014, pretty much, where they were called pretty much they were the Cardiac Cats in 2014. They had that great defense, middle of the road kind of offense. I think they're playing better football than those guys right now, and that's incredible. And I can't remember a time where they were a very disciplined team like they are right now. Like Mike just said, not many turnovers. They're not getting penalties. They're playing sound, quality football, taking stuff really serious, taking teams serious, not laying down, shooting themselves in the foot. They're playing really good football, and it's amazing to watch right now. It just, man, this team doesn't seem like a 5-7 team, man. They just don't seem like a 5-7 team. They should have a few more wins under the belt. It's kind of brutal that we're going through this right now, that we have to win out. We have to pretty much win the next 4 out of 5. But you know what? It's fun to watch right now, especially when they're playing very disciplined ball. I love it.
In December. Disciplined football in December. So we've talked about offense, defense. We talked about coaching, special teams. It's prediction time. Let me know in the comment section, what is your prediction for the game? Who do you got winning? What is your score? Let us know. And I'm going to ask Mark, who do you got winning this game? Your score prediction. Do you have a bold prediction you want to throw in there? And yeah, I'm ready to hear it.
You know what? I'm going to be taking the Detroit Lions in this game. I think they're going to win. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to drink I'm not trying to drink the Kool-Aid or anything like that. You know, I still like to keep a little bit low-tempered on this. But right now, there's teams out there that just don't want to play us. There's teams that don't want to play us, and I think Minnesota Vikings do not want to come to Ford Field and play us right now. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. But I also thought the Jacksonville game is a hard-fought game, but Jacksonville's a little bit different than the Minnesota Vikings, obviously. But I think we're going to win this game. I'm going to say we're going to put at least 30 points on the board. It'll be like 30-24. 30-24, and I think Hutchinson gets like 2 sacks. You're going to see Swift running wild. I think it's going to be a very, very good game for the Detroit Lions, man.
27-24, Devin Davis with the Lions win. 45 field goal with 7 seconds left. 40 burger from Chatton L. Lions 28-24, Weston. John Ball 31-28, Lions. Paul Ginder 38-24, Detroit Lions. Night Owl, Lions 34, Vikings 30. Patty Grimes 38-27, Lions. Alan Data, Lions 34-31. And we got Tony Dickerson 34-27, Detroit Lions. So, Peter in Pearl says Detroit Lions by 12. So right now, Lions across the board. Here's my prediction. Detroit Lions win. They win 32-28. We go to 6 wins. And a giant boulder just falls into the NFL pond, and it ripples that the Lions are for real. That is my...
Oh, my God!
I have the Lions winning this game. I think they can do it. They're a different football team, and they're playing sound, smart, physical, scoring points, and you're at home field advantage where it has been rocking at Ford Field. It's been insane.
Yeah. And I might go to this game, too. I actually might go to this game with my buddy. I'm thinking about going to this game. So there's a bunch of guys at my work that are like, you going to this game, man? We're going. And then my one buddy was just talking about it. I'm like, you know what, man? We should go to this football game, man. I think it's going to be a great football game to watch. And that place, like you said, Mike, electric. It's going to be electric in there, man.
Electric.
I think I'm going to go.
It's going to be playoff atmosphere. It's going to be playoff atmosphere. No doubt about it. Dr. Detroit knows this. What's up, Purple Pocket Podcast? What's up, man? That is a good channel for Minnesota Vikings.
What's up,
subscribe to the channel. I've had him on multiple times. I appreciate it. It's going to be a big game between us and them on Sunday. Smash that like button. Let's get to 50 likes. It's the mailbag segment, folks. My favorite time of the day. It's where if you got questions, we have answers. I'm telling you, we may have answers. We may have some answers. We're gonna have fun coming at it, and I already know there's gonna be jerking off questions that's gonna be coming, and we will be ready. With that said, let's get this. Alrighty, if you got them out, put them out, folks. Put them out. It's time for you guys to shine for the mailbag, and we got our first one. That was quick. If we get to the playoffs, is it crazy to think we can hang base in the last 5 games? Gives us a woo, Big Mark. Big Mark, woo.
Woo!
Yes, if we were to get to the dance, yes, we could hang with anybody. We showed it with Buffalo Bills. We've showed it with the Philadelphia Eagles. We've showed it with the Minnesota Vikings. Folks, we've played hard teams already, and we just gotten better and better throughout the year. So, yeah, what do you think, Mark?
Like 100%, I think we can hang. Just like Mike said, he just named off 3-4 teams that are in the playoffs right now. Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best teams in the league. We played them pretty tough. The Giants we beat, even though they've been a little bit shaky the last couple of weeks. But, hey, man, we beat them. We took Buffalo Bills right to the last very play of the game. Those are Super Bowl contenders. Go look at the odds in Vegas, man. Buffalo Bills are #1 team to win the Super Bowl. And we took those guys to the last play, and we made a bunch of blunders on that in that game. We should have won that game. So, yes, man, we can definitely hang 100%.
What happened to yesterday's? I don't know what happened there. I honestly I have no idea. I heard that it was showed to be live. It was not supposed to be live yesterday. It will be live on Tuesday, so I don't really know. I got at 9 Drinks told me. He's like, man, what's going on? Like, I had no idea, so I don't know. How many targets J-Mo gets? 5, John Ball, actually seems reasonable. What do you think?
Yeah, man. They're trying to get him slowly. They're trying to get his feet down, man. Just trying to get him warmed up to the NFL. I'm going to say maybe 3 to 4 targets. The word was that he was a little bit upset about not getting a lot of targets, but he's a young kid. He wants to show what he can do. It's nothing like him being a diva or anything like that. But 5 is pretty nice, though. 5 would be nice. They need to get him the ball. 100% they do.
So when the last time the Lions were betting favorites against a 10-win team in December, I couldn't tell you. It probably not.
I couldn't tell you either, Matt.
Long time. Patty Grimes, how did you get a shout-out in a Spirited movie at the end of the movie? Hey, man, I don't know. Crazier things happen. I don't know. Bald Boys, who's your Lions Rookie of the Year? So many to choose from. Oh, yeah, first off, I love the hashtag. Thank God. I do like that one. If I miss your question, folks, just repost it. I already tell I'm going to be missing multiple questions. Copy, paste, I'll get it. I would say everyone knows Aidan Hutchinson. I think that's an easy one to pick. But how about I'm going to go Kirby Joseph with mine. I'll say Kirby Joseph is my rookie because he was a position of need and he's really shown out. Who do you got, Mark?
Yeah, like Mike said, I think Aidan would be the obvious choice, but I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to say Malcolm Rodriguez, 6th-round pick, linebacker, starting on his way to over 100 tackles, making plays. It's Malcolm Rodriguez for me.
Paul Johnson says, I watched tape on Houston when he was drafted, him out of Jackson State, so I'm not surprised at how good he is. Are you? A little surprised. Petey's had, 15 snaps and 3 sacks? That is ridiculous. But they are putting him in position to succeed, and that's a good thing. But, dang, I love it. Yeah. So I am a little surprised.
I'm a little surprised, too. I'm a little surprised, too, on how much of a natural pass rusher he is. He explodes off the ball. But you got to remember, man, that kid did play in the SEC for 3 years. I know he didn't do much as a Florida Gator. And then he went to a smaller school, and exploded on the scene at Jackson State. But that kid, man, that kid's always had some ability. But the way he gets off the snap is incredible, man. His dip and his bend around tackles is outstanding. Like, he's just a natural pass rusher. I love it.
Best path to the playoffs, who needs to lose? I'm going to go with the New York Giants. Their schedule is pretty brutal. I think that would be our best path right there. That tie, though, hurt us a little bit. Seattle, they beat us. That's going to be difficult. I don't see that happening. I think New York Giants, if they could potentially maybe win one more game with their schedule. So that is the best way. And obviously, Lions win out. Do you have anything different there?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, I pretty much agree with you, Mike. I think we're trailing the Seattle Seahawks, but, they got the tiebreaker on us. Like you said, we need Washington. We need the Giants. We need those teams to lose for sure.
News coming. Paul Ginder. #Lions. I really didn't think Goff was our quarterback, but I think he is. What do you guys think? Well, first off, I want to say this. This is a caution. People are allowed to have their opinions. Whether you like Goff or not, everyone is allowed to have their opinion. And cussing people out, threatening people because they don't agree with you is inexcusable. And that has been going on now for the past couple of days. So whether you're a Goff fan or not, that stuff needs to end. If you're a person I'm going to come to your house and find you because you don't like Jared Goff or you're a Goff lover, and I'm going to come and find you, then you need to unsubscribe from this channel and any of my channels. That stuff is inexcusable. So I'm just doing an FYI out there because the last couple days has been insane. First off, for me, right now, with the way that's going, I would like to get Jalen Carter with the first pick if we have an opportunity to get it. And whoever's best available with the 15th pick, it is really up in the air. But I'm fine right now. When getting a quarterback for me is you could get one maybe in the mid to late rounds to develop. That's perfectly fine. Do I think he's the future? Again, man, I kind of just go game by game here. I'm not I'm not a fan homer of, or I'm not a homer of any player. Okay, I'm not gonna yeah. I'm just in love with one player. I just want the team to win. If they're winning, great. If not, not great. What do you think, Mark?
This is the thing with Goff with me, man, and it's been my thing with him since day one. I know what you're getting with Jared Goff, and what they're doing with him right now, what Ben Johnson is creating with him, has been outstanding. Okay, it's been good, but he is a limited quarterback. He is a limited quarterback. There's certain things he cannot do that I wish he could do, like be a little bit more mobile. He's not that, so he's limited. He's limited in his throws too, as well. But what Ben Johnson does, and it's brilliant. What I think he's doing is he's putting him in good situations where you can dink and dunk down the field, and I think that's okay. Like I've said, occasionally throw a deep shot. It's fine. Jared Goff is having a fantastic season. He really is. I just wish there were some things about him that, I just want him to be a little bit different, but it's not going to happen. He's not going to be that running quarterback that I want. He's not going to do that. But I don't want to replace him with that Rams pick. I'll tell you right now. Like Mike said, I want defense. I want either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter or Miles Murphy, any type of D lineman to come in right away. Now, with that second first-round pick, I don't know yet. I haven't gone that far, but I think they do need to bring in a quarterback eventually to develop. Nate Sudfeld is not the answer to be the backup quarterback. I think they need to take a quarterback within the first maybe 3 rounds, okay? 3 rounds and develop somebody. Now, I'm not saying replace Goff right away because he is playing well. There's just some things I don't like about him, and that's fine. But they do need to look towards the future and developing another quarterback. I hope that answered the question, man. I really do. Now, don't attack my family, please.
I've never seen anything like this.
For real.
It's really gotten out of hand. I'm having, it's really has gotten out of hand, guys. It's a player, it's a human being. It's people's opinions. Whether you like it or not, you can just agree to disagree. It's okay to disagree with somebody's opinion. You want to know why? Because it's an opinion. Who cares? It's just like, does it really bother you that much? I have friends that are Muslim, and I'm a Christian. Guess what? We disagree, or we agree to disagree on that. I have friends that are not straight. It's okay. It's okay to have people that are completely different thinking than you. It is. It's one of those things. It's perfectly fine. And like I said, I was in the Army with a guy who's a Satanist, and I'm a Christian, and talk about being patched up with the battle buddy like that. Okay? It's okay to completely disagree.
Okay. And like the funny thing is, Mike, and I don't mean to, beat a dead horse here, but it's like I don't ever think we've ever said that Jared Goff is a piece of garbage. I don't think we've ever said that. All we've done is criticize him on certain things, and I think that's fine. Like, I don't understand where all the hatred comes from. Like people think that I absolutely despise Jared Goff or Mike despises him. We don't despise the kid. We don't think he's I think he's a middle of the road quarterback who's having a very, very fantastic season. He's having a great season. And I think they're building around him a little bit. They got a nice offense, and I think that's okay. And it's okay to criticize, man. It's not a big deal. Just imagine if we had I don't want to get into it, man. I don't want to say what I'm about to say. I'm stopping myself. But I'm just saying, if there were some situations with this team where we can be a little bit better in certain areas, I think the sky would be the limit, man, for this football club. So,
who do you think gets injured in the Lions-Vikings game? Hopefully nobody gets injured. Okay, I don't want to see injuries for anybody. When Trevor Lawrence went down, I was feeling pretty bad. That's the last thing I want to see is this guy go down for the year. Thankfully, he got back up, but for both teams, I don't want to see injuries unless your name is Karen Rodgers. That's a little bit different. But Paul Geiner here. Lions, do you guys think that Brad Holmes should pay Ben Johnson to stay in Detroit? Well, if at some point if he gets offered a head coaching job, he's just going to take it. just the way it is. I want him to stay in Detroit really, really bad, but I think for Dan Campbell to be smart, I think you need to develop a guy underneath Ben Johnson just in case at some point he becomes a head coach. Then you have the same system, same scheme, same brain, same thought. Develop young guy to take over at some point. I think that's the best case scenario. Build your tree so you're not in a world of hurt when the eventual does happen. Did I get the same question? Let's see here.
That's the same question, Mike. Shadow Squad. Who do you think will get injured? Yeah, same question.
Okay, let me find. I know I missed some other.
Can I say a little bit something about Ben Johnson?
Go ahead while I find one.
Yeah, like about the Ben Johnson thing. The thing is, he is getting paid. He is getting paid. He's getting paid good money to be OC in the NFL. Now, the one thing that Dan Campbell can do to keep him on the squad and not have anybody poach him is make him assistant head coach. That's what he can do. If you up his title, then no team can even talk to him. He's done it before. He did it because Zach Taylor has this thing for Ben Johnson for the past couple of years where he wanted him on the Cincinnati Bengals. And, but Deuce Staley is our assistant head coach, so I don't know how that would really work out. Can you have two assistant head coaches? I don't really know. But Ben Johnson, be prepared for him to be gone by 2024. I think he's going to leave eventually. He just looks like a head coach.
Where is Baker Mayfield going? If you already answered this, my bad. No problem. He's going to the Rams. Someone said Michael Penix. He's actually returning to college. So those two. Here we go here. Where has anybody said Goff hater?
It's like talking to children, man. It's like talking to children. My 10-year-old was just here 2 minutes ago. Like,
not a single thing is said about him.
We're not hating on him. We're not, bro. Jeez, Michael. Come on, Michael Powell. We're not hating on him. He's having a great year.
It's crazy. I think Goff's good enough that you don't have to take a chance on a quarterback. Just replace him. But he's not good enough to have on the spot. Hey, that's your opinion, man. No problem there. Let's see. Lions, real talk. Does Goff make the Pro Bowl? His stats are really good. Hater and I is a good year. Pro Bowl is all about fanfare and love by the media. So if that's anything to you, they probably not, because they just tend to screw over any Detroit Lions player. So probably not for that fact. That's just the way. Let's be honest here. The media hates.
Well, it's just all the fans is voting for him. Yeah, there's going to be certain people that are going to vote for him until they can't vote anymore. So yeah, I guess you never know, but it is a popularity contest.
Who do y'all think is a target for us in the upcoming free agency? Oh, this is a great question. I think they should go after some high-profile players. I really do. I like Roquan Smith. I think that would be absolutely amazing to add to him. To this defense, this linebacking core would be sick at that point. Yeah. Who's a player you would like the Lions to target?
See, I don't have the list in front of me, so I don't really know the free agents, but you just named a really good one, a Roquan Smith. I could say positions, I guess. I think they really need to maybe possibly look at a guard, like a really good guard somewhere in free agency maybe, or draft one. Another corner. I don't really have any names, but yeah, they definitely add to the defense. And, I think we need to find another guard for sure.
Who is your MVP for this Sunday's game? For the Vikings, who I think will be MVP for this game? I might have to go Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Amon-Ra first down's got to keep getting it done. Or last game, I would say Jared Goff. This game, I think Amon-Ra first down's got to do it. I think Jameson Williams and DJ Chark is going to open up some lanes for him, and that's going to make him getting some big plays. So I'll go with Amon-Ra first down. That's what I call him now, Amon-Ra first down.
That's a phenomenal nickname, by the way, Mike. That's a phenomenal nickname. Amon-Ra first down.
Yeah. Let me know if you like that Amon-Ra first down. I nicknamed him that on Sunday.
Wow.
Kept getting first downs. I'm like, Amon-Ra first down.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Who's your MVP? Who do you think will be MVP?
Oh, the MVP, man. Yeah. For last week, it was It was definitely Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff had a fantastic game. He played a flawless football game, had only one bad throw on the first drive. After that, he was clean. And then Amon-Ross first down. Definitely. And then for this game, man, I think the defense is really going to need to step up, man. The defense is going to need to step up. So I'm going to say that whole D unit, man.
How many touches will Jameson Williams going to have? I forgot who posted in the comment section, but somebody said he'd get like five. I think that's pretty realistic, actually. 100%.
It's realistic.
I think that's realistic. Let's see here. I always hear negative of what Goff can't do, but the positives he does great. I talk both. I talk positive and negative, and I talk both. Or it's the funny thing is I talk about every player the exact same. I don't look at any player. I don't have a fascination with any player. I don't have a fascination. I don't. Right. I just want the team to win. And I will criticize. In the Army, I'm going to tell you something a little bit about myself. And people in the comment section, if you're a veteran, you know this. In the Army, when you train for combat, kicking indoors, you consistently do the same scenario over and over again until it's ingrained into your skull many times over. And after each situation you do it, after those, 20 times you do it, you do a thing called after action review, AAR. And after action review, you talk about what you did good, bad, what you can improve on. Even at the last scenario where everything is going right, when you're clearing rooms 100%, where it's flawless, they're always telling you what you can do better. There is nothing wrong with that. And when I look at any player, if I criticize them, it is not negative. It's what can they do better. Tom Brady does that. If you look at Tom Brady's press conference, even if he wins a game, dominates, he tells you what he needs to do better. Peyton Manning did that. Jerry Rice did that. It is okay to do constructive criticism. We all do it in our personal lives. Okay, so if there is criticism like that about any player, you should be fine with it. I will definitely shout out. A player does great. Jared Goff, he was my MVP on Sunday. Killed it. 41 pass attempts, over 330-some yards, 2 touchdowns. He is the air player of the week. I love what he did. But if he has a bad game, I'm going to say, hey, it's not good. It's okay to criticize. It is not being negative at all. I'm not, there's no hate there. I don't hate a player. No. I have nothing against the player. If you play good, great. If you play bad, not great.
That's it. Yeah. 100%, man. Like, just, and saying that, that he does well dinking and dunking down the field, that's not a negative thing at all. That's good. He throws the short ball, one of the best in the NFL. He's on point, man, and he does it well. So there's nothing negative about that. It's actually a positive outlook on it, man.
Question.
It's okay that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind.
It's okay I'm not putting any player on a pedestal. I don't care who it is. My favorite player is Derrick Henry, and he's not even a Detroit Lion, and I won't put him on a pedestal. Question: Will the Lions keep Jamal Williams? I hope they do. I think they will. I think he's done a good enough job. He's a leader. He's getting touchdowns, but he's got to correct those fumbles. You got to stop with the fumbling, man. He fumbled this last game too, but we recovered it. So you got to stop the fumbles.
I know, and it's funny too. The kid never fumbles, man. And this year he just started fumbling the ball. It's weird. He hasn't really fumbled his whole career in Green Bay.
Do you think our defense will get at least 5 sacks? No, not 5 against Kirk Cousins. That's a lot.
5, eh? Oof. I think they got a choice.
How many sacks do you think they get?
Close to that. I'm going to say 4. I think they can get 4. I already think Aidan's going to get 1 or 2, and I think don't count out Houston. You might see Romeo this week. I think there's a shot. I think there's definitely a shot, but that's a pretty good O-line over there. It's a pretty good O-line. They're in tough.
Do you think Detroit is happy to see the energy is back at Ford Field, or still nervous? I think fans are absolutely happy. I mean, the nerves it's not like what it used to be. It's different because they're physical. I remember watching even Matthew Stafford Detroit Lions in 2014 and in 2011, and I would be nervous because they weren't a physical team. This is different. They hit you so freaking hard. They pound you.
Yeah.
And it's like San Francisco. San Francisco, they get injured players. They lose quarterback. They're still punching you in the face consistently. And it leaves a mark. That's what Detroit's becoming. So I'm not that worried. I'm not. They're turning the tide from a team that has been finessed to physical.
And tell me, Mike, I don't know if you feel like this like I do. I feel like this now. The past like month and or five games. Usually when you sit down and watch a game, I'll sit there and I'll sit down, watch a game, put the game on, and I'll be like, oh, man, I really hope we play well today. I really hope we can win. I don't have that feeling anymore. The last like 4 or 5 weeks, I'm like, I feel confident about this football team. I'm still not trying to drink the Kool-Aid, but I feel very confident that we can beat teams now. It took a while to get here, but finally it feels like I sit down on a Sunday and I'm like, we're going to destroy these guys.
Yeah,
today,
I know.
We're going to beat these guys up. I don't have that nervous feeling watching these guys anymore. We're going to have to go in on a Monday morning to work and get laughed at by my buddies because I'm a Lions fan. It's like I don't have that feeling anymore, man. It's like I feel very confident in this team. They have turned a corner. They really have, man. I really feel that this team has turned a corner. It's a little late in the season, but, man, they've done it.
And again, it's not even about the win. Like, it's just the physicality that I'm seeing.
Right.
Absolutely physical. And that's how you win real games. That's how the 49ers have had success. That's how Baltimore Ravens has been a successful franchise. That's how the Pittsburgh Steelers has been a successful franchise. You look at the Green Bay Packers, they've had success, but they've been finesse. You look at the teams that are consistently successful, they will punch you in the freaking mouth, and it's cold out in December, and you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with a freaking Jamal Williams running you over. You don't want to deal with a Kirby Joseph smacking you in the face, hitting you as hard. You don't want to deal with a Amon-Ra first down who is just, he takes any hit and gets back up. I've never, like, it's just a physical team. They have taken on the role of Dan Campbell and says, this is what we are. You're going to feel it today. That's what we are. That's what I love about this team right now. Hashtag FGB. Do you think Chark is going to be more involved in this week? He did against the Jags. I hope so. It was really nice to see him get involved in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I love how he got the football from Dan Campbell. We need to see this more. He's got 5 more games. He was a no-show first part of the season, then injuries. For him and his future, he's got to continue to show out. I love what he did last week, but he's got to continue it. Because there is a guy named Jameson Williams that's sitting right there. So, yeah,
like, you know what? Maybe the presence of Jameson Williams, kind of made him perk his ears up a little bit, man. Absolutely. It was his former team, so you kind of, you tend to see that a lot, man, with former players playing well against their former team. But, Jameson Williams, man, is creeping around the corner, man. He's not too far behind, and DJ Chark knows that, man. I don't really think his job's in jeopardy. But hey, he can have that mindset where, hey man, this kid's going to be special. Maybe I need to be just as good or try to be just as good. So it's good to see DJ Chark get involved, man. I actually loved it.
Yeah, I 100%. I just want to I want to see it more. For us to even consider re-signing him, I want to see it more. I don't want this to be an anomaly. And like again, he doesn't have to get 100 yards every game. Just be involved, and when the ball's thrown to you, catch it. Get open when you get open. Do your job, and if you do your job, okay, man, then maybe that's something that we can look at to doing what like we did with Khalif Raymond with them and giving them an extension. So, Lions, hey Mark, are you going to the game? I'd love to meet you, Paul Ginder. He may be, but go ahead and answer, man.
I'm trying to, man. You know what? I'm going to ask my buddy. When I get off this show, I'm going to call him up, see if he wants to go get tickets, man. Yeah, let's have a beer, brother. 100%.
100%, man. Get up there and do it. Public Enemy, I don't remember seeing Tracy out for the season. Yeah, he's out for the season. Just an FYI if you didn't know. Also, smash that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. We're at 70 right now, at 255 in the building. Smash that like button. We need to talk about this big game on Sunday here as we continue with this mailbag segment. Anyone that saw Chark's speech after getting the game ball on Sunday, he is just after money. I thought it was the opposite. I thought that DJ Chark was more about family. It seems like he wanted to fit in.
I didn't see the speech after getting the game ball.
Okay.
I didn't see it, man.
It was just like, hey, I appreciate that I'm fitting in and you guys took me under. That's kind of what I get from it. And when he signed, he was all about family. Like, I just wanted to be part of something. And so, obviously, people want money. There's no doubt about it. That's probably 95%. But not everything is about money. Sometimes you do want to fit in or you want to find a right situation. Nobody wants to work for a boss they freaking hate. So there's other things out there. Hashtag Jay, I would have Goff's left bullocks rather than Karen Rodgers. I can't stand Karen Rodgers, man. I can't stand Karen, bro. I can't stand this dude, man. I'm sorry. Karen is he is the worst. God, he's the worst. And I really wanted the Bears to beat him. I don't know who the Packers are playing on Sunday, but my God, I hope whoever they're playing beats them. Please. We got Frog Crop in the building. Frog OG. What are they building right now is real special. Don't think I've ever seen it in my 48 years. Frog, I agree. I'm 37. You're older. You're near Mark's age here, but I haven't seen anything like this. Mark, you're older. You were here when Fred Flintstone was roaming the earth, and the dinosaurs were helping you make
Barney.
Yeah, Barney.
Yeah.
So since the era of the invention of the wheel, have you seen anything like this in Detroit?
Well, man, let me go back and let me go back in time a little bit on this one. No, but honestly, like I was talking about, that 2014 team was good. Everybody kind of remembers that. But I remember a couple really good teams in the 90s, a couple, 91 in particular, that I was literally at that first playoff win in like 60-something years. I was literally at that game against the Dallas Cowboys with my dad. I was 17 years old. That team probably should have won a Super Bowl. That team was crisp. That team was good offensively, defensively. They're good special teams. So it's been a good 30-something years, man. It's been a good since I've seen that. Now, I'm not saying that this team is that over there in the 90s, but man, this team is playing really well right now. So it's been a long time, 100%.
Paul Ginder, hashtag FMV. Do you guys think Goff will throw for over 400? I hope not. I wouldn't want that. That means the run is unsuccessful. I mean, we literally scored on every possession in the Jacksonville game and threw for 338 yards, somewhere around there. So I would like that to be more of a balanced team running the football. The era of Matthew Stafford and throwing these big games, I want that to be over. I want to have a balanced team, a physical run team, and beat you up. That's what I want. So I don't want to see Jared Goff throwing for 400 yards. Could he? I mean, he could, but that means we're unsuccessful in the run game, and that would frustrate me.
Yeah, there could be a couple things going on. The run game's not gelling. We're losing by a bit, so we're just kind of trying to get back into the game, and we're throwing, and the defenses are playing soft. He's capable of doing it. I think he's more than capable. If you throw for 340 something yards, yeah, he can do 400. But if it's a shootout, sure. But that's not necessarily what's going to happen. So, but yeah, he's more than capable of doing it.
Mike, if the Lions win the rest of the games, is that enough to get in the playoffs? Yes. If you get to 10 wins, you get in the playoffs. 10 wins would do it for sure, 100%. We
still need help, though.
You'll need help for sure, but, man, I look at the Giants' schedule. I don't think they get to 10 wins. I really, really don't. They have a brutal schedule. It's really bad, and they have not been playing as well as of late. So we got a Vikings fan in here. Love it, man. Appreciate you coming in here with the skull. I don't really have hate for Minnesota Vikings. They are not the Bears, and they are not the Packers. Those are two organizations I have disdain for. I have a lot less disdain for Minnesota. First off, Kirk Cousins is a Holland native. He reps my town very well. It's unfortunate that he plays for Minnesota because I would root for him if he played on another team. I said he goes in for. I said in the draft, I said, please don't go to the NFC North. He goes to Washington. Yes. And then free agency, I said, don't do it, man. Don't go to the NFC North, and it goes to Minnesota, and I freaking lost it. Come on.
Yeah,
Mark,
for
tell
sure.
the folks about your channel, why they need to check it out, why they need to watch your content.
Yeah, man, come check me out, guys, at Mark Orum's Forum. I do a ton of Lions content, talk about the games. I do the previews, and then I do the aftermath after the game, usually on the Monday. And then I do videos during the week, all Detroit Lions content, opinion-based, throwing facts in there. It's a mixed bag. It's fun. You'll really enjoy the videos, I think, and come check me out, man. And then I do a podcast every now and then called Orum's Den. Don't really have a set time when I do that. That's kind of a fly by the seat of my pants on that one. I'm going to try to do one tomorrow, though, on Wednesday. Check me out, Orum's Den. I'll have a link up. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Great content. I love it over there. Orum's Forum, one of the best content creators on YouTube. He really is, and he keeps it straight. He doesn't BS you. He's not going to tell you what you want to hear. He's just going to tell you what he thinks, and that's it. And regardless if you like it or don't, for sure. Mike low-key roots for Kirk when he plays the Lions. That's the only time I really low-key don't. I'm telling you, man. It's tough because Holland is a small town, okay? And a quarterback coming out of a small town, and he reps the town a lot. He does a lot for us. He goes to the gym that's literally, I can throw a rock to it. His parents live 5 miles from here. It's one of those things, man. So I root for him personally, just not against the Detroit Lions. That's the way I see it. I don't care. I can't root. I cannot root for a guy who's going against my team. Sorry, can't do it, man. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. Love everybody in the chat. Great conversation today. Great show. We got videos dropping. We're going to have some fun. With that said, folks, adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters. They're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now.